State of Business on our television. I'm Nishain Ali and let's have a look at the headlines first. Sri Lanka identifies its 150th COVID-19 patient today, however limits the deaths to 3. Government to impose limitations on importing non-essential goods. News in detail. Around 1,400 people belonging to 220 families in Maradana area have been quarantined today following the death of an elderly man due to COVID-19. Meanwhile, 4 more new positive cases were reported, bringing the total identified cases to 150. The third coronavirus-related death in the country was reported last night, and the victim was a 73-year-old patient. He was a resident at Imamul Aruz Mawatha, a by-lane of Arnold Ratnayaka Mawatha in Maradana. The patient had initially been admitted to the Sri Javardhanapura General Hospital, where it was determined that he had contracted the virus, and later he had been transferred to the National Institute of Infectious Diseases Hospital in Angoda. Colombo Municipal Council Chief Medical Officer Dr. Ruwan Vijay Muni said people residing in a flat along this road have been advised to place themselves in self-quarantine and avoid movement from house to house. Hospital sources also revealed that the third victim was also suffering from other medical complications, including diabetes. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry announced that the total number of positive COVID-19 cases in the country stood as 150 by 4:30 today. Army Commander Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva, addressing the media, said that by today 2,308 individuals have been quarantined and sent home. The Army Commander also said that all 31 foreigners from 15 countries were quarantined and released. He also added that 226 individuals from Berwala who had close association with a COVID-19 patient were also sent to Punani Quarantine Center today. Addressing the media, DIG Ajit Rohana said that not to be panicked and worried by the rumors in social media, and those who spread rumors and fake news will be severely punished. Accordingly, he assured that not a single COVID-19 patient is being treated at the Lady Ridgeway Hospital, Colombo. DIG Rohana also said that over 1,000 individuals who violated the curfew regulations were arrested during the last 24 hours, ended 6 a.m. today. Accordingly, 5 persons, including a university student, were arrested today on charges of posting false and misleading content about COVID-19 on social media. Meanwhile, the first group that underwent quarantine procedure at the quarantine center established by Navy at the Busa Naval Base left the center after successful completion of their quarantine process. Among the first group who completed their quarantine period included 1 Japanese lady and 2 French nationals and 2 Sri Lankans. Director General of Pensions Jagat Dias announces that all pensioners can use their government pensioners' identity card as a curfew pass in obtaining their pension allowance for the month of April during the curfew hours. Adding to that, addressing the weekly cabinet press conference, co-cabinet spokesperson Dr. Bandula Gunawardena stated that the post office will now deliver the pension allowance for the pensioners, those who obtain the allowance from the post offices in the country. Joining the press conference, Director General of Pensions Jagat Dias added that all agreements are already made to allocate the pension allowance for 645,179 recipients for the month of April. The Pensions Director General Dias also added that nearly 76% of the pensioners are above 60 years old and that nearly 5% are 90 years old, and advised them to be vigilant in travelling to obtain the pension. It was also added that the government pensioners' identity card can be used as curfew pass in travelling to get the pension payment from banks. The pensioners who receive pensions through banks will have their bank accounts credited before the April 6th. Moreover, under the guidance of the Presidential Task Force, the Postal Department has decided to deliver the pension payment to the homes of the pensioners who receive the payment through post offices or to the Gram Seva Division through the Postal Department. It was also stated that pensioners who are unable to go to banks will be provided with necessary transport by the Grama Niladari and the Tri-Forces or police. On the other hand, the government last Monday announced that a host of more financial and material relief will be granted to low-income and vulnerable families and individuals affected by the battle to contain the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. Thus, it was announced that measures have been taken to provide 5,000 rupees each to all 1,798,655 Samurdhi recipients. Addressing the cabinet press conference, Director General of Samurdhi Authority Bandura Tilaksiri added that an additional 633,000 from low-income families registered for Samurdhi beneficiaries will receive 5,000 rupees allowance. Meanwhile, Co-Cabinet spokesperson Dr. Ramesh Patrana added that the Cabinet of Ministers has decided to suspend or limit the import of non-essential goods except pharmaceutical products and fuel. Dr. Ramesh Patrana added that this initiative is taken concerning the economic pressures following the coronavirus pandemic and as many countries may restrict food exports in the near future. Furthermore, Minister noted that this initiative uplifts the local farmer and the agricultural sector of the country. Dr. Ramesh Patrana also added that the Cabinet will initiate the program to distribute seeds to the public from 9th of this month under the patronage of the subject minister Chamal Rajpaksha. Also, Sri Lanka has already halted the import of vehicles and a series of non-essential items as the rupee came under pressure. An all-party meeting under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajpaksha was convened today at the Temple Trees to discuss about the latest situation in the country with the spread of the novel coronavirus. Accordingly, party leaders including former President Maithripala Sirisena, former Speaker Karu Jayasuriya, former opposition leader Sajith Premadasa, UNP leader Ranil Wickremesinghe and heads of security forces attended the meeting. The meeting also focused on the relief provided to the public in the face of COVID-19 outbreak. Meanwhile, the government and the United National Party representatives had a discussion at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday on the matters concerning the novel coronavirus pandemic. The complications faced by the daily wage earners, entrepreneurs, those in agricultural industries and public servants were discussed. Both parties were of the opinion that the issue of combating the virus should be a humanitarian issue devoid of part politics, and both parties approved to instruct further the respective district-level political representatives of the processes taken. UNP was represented by former MP S. Ravi Karunanayaka, Arjuna Ranatunga, Bruwan Vijayawardena, Daya Gamage, Palitha Rangabandara, Navin Disanayaka and Lakshman Vijayamanna. Stay tuned for more news right after this commercial break. Welcome back after the break. The Department of Census and Statistics announces that the country's gross domestic product grew 2.3% in 2019, down from 3.3% a year earlier as the country started to stabilize after a currency collapse triggered by money printed to keep rates down in 2018. The Department of Census and Statistics releasing the estimated gross domestic product says that economic growth rate for the year of 2019 has been estimated as 2.3%. The communique issued by the DCS says that the four major components of the economy are agriculture, industry, services and taxes, less subsidies on products. While the service sector has contributed with 58.2%, the industry sector has contributed by 27.4%, the agriculture and tax have contributed by 7.4% and 6.9% respectively during the year 2019. During the year of 2019, industrial activities expanded favorably by 2.7% compared to the 1.2% of growth recorded in the industrial activities in the year of 2018. Meanwhile, the services activities grew by 2.3% further during the year of 2019. However, the agricultural activities have reported slight positive expansion by 0.6% compared to the 6.5% of high growth recorded in the year of 2018. Sri Lanka's rupee collapsed from 161 to 182 to the US dollar in 2018 as large volumes of liquidity was injected to target an overnight call money rate, as well as liquidity injected by Soros-style swaps, triggering a collapse of the rupee just as the economy started to recover from a currency collapse. The corrective measures to restore monetary stability as well as the currency collapse itself killed domestic demand, worsens bad loans as a result of weak demand and pushes up interest rates. Meanwhile, the analysts said that similar outcomes have been seen after the island's soft peg collapsed in 2000, 2008, 2013 and 2015. A currency collapse from money printing triggers an output shock and a spike in inflation leading to a period of stagflation. World Health Organization Director General Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus states that the number of deaths from coronavirus or COVID-19 has more than doubled in the past week and warns that in the next few days it will reach 1 million confirmed COVID-19 cases and 50,000 deaths. He made these observations yesterday addressing the daily press briefing on coronavirus direct from WHO headquarters in Switzerland.
As we enter the fourth month since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, I'm deeply concerned about the rapid escalation and global spread of infection. Over the past 5 weeks, we have witnessed a near exponential growth in the number of new cases, reaching almost every country, territory, and area. The number of deaths has more than doubled in the past week. In the next few days, we will reach 1 million confirmed cases and 50,000 deaths. While relatively lower numbers of confirmed cases have been reported from Africa and from Central and South America, we realize that COVID-19 could have serious social, economic, and political consequences for these regions. It's critical that we ensure these countries are well equipped to detect, test, isolate, and treat cases and identify contacts. I'm encouraged to see that this is occurring in many countries despite limited resources.
Speaking further, World Health Organization Director General Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus made comments on the ongoing debate about the use of masks at the community level.
WHO's priority is that frontline health workers are able to access essential personal protective equipment, including medical masks and respirators. That's why we're continuing to work with governments and manufacturers to step up the production and distribution of personal protective equipment, including masks. There is an ongoing debate about the use of masks at the community level. WHO recommends the use of medical masks for people who are sick and those caring for them. However, in these circumstances, masks are only effective when combined with other protective measures. WHO continues to gather all available evidence and continues to evaluate the potential use of masks more broadly to control COVID-19 transmission at the community level. This is still a very new virus, and we're learning all the time. As the pandemic evolves, so does the evidence, and so does our advice.
Tamil National Alliance spokesman M.A. Sumandaran, uploading a video on his Twitter account today, said that the parliament had the possibility of making collective decisions to meet the COVID-19 issue which the whole country is facing at present. In his video, he suggests President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to withdraw the decision of dissolving the parliament.
We request His Excellency the President to revoke the Gazette of 3rd March by which he dissolved Parliament. The Election Commission also has yesterday issued a letter drawing the attention of the laws that are extant so that people can deal with this issue properly, legally, and be in a position to deal with the virus and its aftermath and various other matters connected thereto.
And to wrap up today's bulletin, we bring you a special statement by the Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, where he orders his soldiers not to hesitate in taking actions against the violators of coronavirus lockdown measures. And on that note, we end today's news bulletin. See you tomorrow with State of Business. Until then, take care. Good night.
Shoot them dead. Alam mo,
any troubles or gunfights, killings, I will not hesitate to order my soldiers to shoot you. I will not hesitate to order the police to arrest and detain you. And if you're detained, I'll leave it to you how to get your own food.